but really the big story that we're tracking on India at 9 is a CNN-IBN exclusive. The fear factor that appears to be spreading after Air India pilots refused to fly to Afghanistan. It's now the turn of the Indian embassy staffers who say they want to return home.
Well, this on a day when the NSA Shiv Shankar Menon is in Kabul to assess security of some 4,000 Indians in Afghanistan. We'll also get you a ground report from Kabul in a short while from now. But joining us now is at least 2 Indian embassy staffers have asked for permission, according to our sources, to return home. The fear factor is spreading despite the Kabul embassy being the most protected of all Indian missions in Afghanistan. Remember, we also have missions in Kandahar. Major security concerns remains after the last week's attack. We also know that 30,000 Taliban members are ready to attack Kabul at will. Research and Analysis Wing, or the RAW, of the Indian government had warned that cultural performances were on the radar. Remember, a tabla player had also died in those attacks at a hotel near the hotel where Indians stayed in Kabul. More attacks on Indian targets are feared over the next 18 months. The Afghanistan President Hamid Karzai is unable to guarantee security for India, but more paramilitary forces will be deployed to boost security in Kabul.
National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon making a trip he's made once before as Foreign Secretary. He's seen here at the Indian Embassy in Kabul after a terrorist attack killed 6 Indians on Friday. Among them, members of an ICCR cultural troupe. Top-level sources now confirm that the government was aware that the artists were at risk. That input was given to the Prime Minister on 12th of February when he convened a meeting of the National Security Council. Present were the External Affairs Minister, Home Minister, Finance Minister, Defence Minister, RAW and IB chiefs, the NSA and the Prime Minister's Special Envoy for Afghanistan and Pakistan. Also present were the Army, Navy and Air chiefs. It was the RAW chief who told the Prime Minister that his agency had picked up a conversation between ISI head Shuja Pasha and President Karzai himself. Pasha asked for a scaled-down Indian presence in Afghanistan, including its cultural presence, in return for negotiating a truce between Karzai and the Taliban. That's not all. NSA Menon and Ambassador Prasad will also be worried about the fear psychosis building up on the ground. Sources confirm that 2 Indian government staffers working at the embassy want to pack their bags and come home. Others are equally rattled, and there's good reason to be nervous. CNN-IBN learns that at the National Security Council meeting, NSA Menon warned of more attacks and spoke about the looming Taliban threat. They don't believe that Friday's attack will be the last. They're expecting more such attacks on Indian targets over the next 18 months. The National Security Advisor's own assessment is that 30,000 Taliban fighters have the ability today to attack at will at the center of Kabul, and that today they pack more firepower than they did in the 90s. To make matters worse, President Hamid Karzai also believes he's equally vulnerable to the Taliban, apart from being politically weak as well. Menon and Karzai are also expected to have discussed the president's political future and his ability to deploy more Afghan forces to protect Indians. India too will pitch in with more paramilitary at sites like these where Indians work on reconstruction projects. But the bad news is, despite India's declared long-term engagement with Afghanistan, the reality on the ground is quite different. In New Delhi, Parul.